Welcome back to the show, each and every single one of you. As your face is on camera, I'm going to go to you first, Kate. But you get through, but not a great performance tonight.
Oh my God, Terry. That's one of the worst performances I think I've ever seen from Spurs in my life. I was talking to Henry towards the end and I was sort of saying, I'm behind you, Henry. I hear you. This is terrible. I don't know where we go from here. And then out of nothing, an Ange masterclass, two late goals. It was like it was all planned. But no, seriously, it was a shocking performance. Terrible for Coventry. I mean, if ever a team didn't deserve to lose, it's them. I feel for them because they deserve to be 4-5-0 up, but it was shocking. It was absolutely shocking to see our high line just get cut through time and time again. The space that they had, the chances that they had, it was just abysmal. And I'm pinching myself now, wondering how on earth we ever got through that game. And to be perfectly honest, I did a whole stream today about why the value of sticking with a manager. But I don't know where Tottenham go from here. It's as simple as that. I don't know the answer and where we go from here. Because if we get rid of Ange, we need to have a plan in place and somebody ready to come in. We cannot be doing what we did before, where we go weeks and weeks without getting anybody in and ending up with our fifth choice or whatever he was. But it seems to me it doesn't matter what manager we get. It's the club's rotten at the top, and all the while Levy's there, it's going to stay the same. And I've said it before, so I don't know if sacking Ange is the answer. I don't know. I'm just delighted we got through, even if it's only to the next round. It just put a smile on my face after the weekend.
I bet. Do you know what? There's a phrase. My uncle's actually a Spurs fan, and he uses this phrase when he speaks about dodgy builders. But Spurs remind me of this because you have the money, you have the facilities, you have the stadium. Your football club's almost all the gear, but no idea.
Yeah.
And that's, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful. It's, you have the income of the top club, the stadium, the infrastructure, the finances, everything's there. And I do agree. I don't think sacking Ange is the worst thing to do in the world, but I also don't. I'm with you. I don't think it fixes Tottenham. I don't think you're just going. You could bring in Simeone from Inter Milan, and I believe in a year to 18 months, the same conversations will be happening again.
Yeah. 100%. It doesn't matter who we bring in. We was looking through it today. We've had 12 managers in Levy's tenure and paid out 56 million in compensation. Every manager has asked for players they haven't got. They've got the Primark version of what they wanted. And so you've got to come to a point where you say it isn't the manager. It's rotten at the club. It's the chairman. They never give the managers what they need. And this is why I say to people, we need to temper our expectations with Spurs. Because as much as we like to think we're this big club and our history is wonderful, it our chairman obviously doesn't see it that way. You know, he doesn't give Ange's prime target Eze and Gallagher. He's ended up with Solanke, Archie Gray, you know, players that he didn't want, and we pay stupid money for these players. So I just personally think if we sack Ange, we're just basically putting a plaster over the cracks and just setting up someone else to be in the same position 2 years on. We were lucky with Poch. He literally performed miracles, even though he didn't win anything. To get us where he got us was unbelievable. Chances of that happening again, I just don't know. I'm at a loss with it all, Terry, to be honest.
I hear you. Young Daniel, welcome back on the show, mate. Full disclosure for everybody, Daniel let us know before the North London derby last week that he couldn't come on. So he didn't just bottle it. I want to protect the young man on that. You went through, which is important. I actually remember this stage last year, this exact week last year when you came on fuming when you were knocked out in this round. You're through, but that performance leaves a lot to be desired. What's your overarching thoughts right now as a Tottenham fan, young man?
Terry, I'm just going to touch on a point. This is our first Carabao Cup win since 2021. This is the first time we win a match in the Carabao Cup since 2021. And let me explain to you why. I'm going to explain to you why. This is the problem with us in the Carabao Cup. It was funny. It wasn't that funny. But look, this is I don't understand why we go into these games thinking we're Real Madrid, thinking we're Man City, where we can go in and put our B team. We don't have a good enough B team to just walk over teams. We have to have our starting 11, maybe bring in a couple youth players, but we can't just completely swap out the team. Ange Postecoglou made this exact same mistake last season. I remember coming on, and it was his third game in his career at Tottenham. I was like, you know what? It's his first game. It's his first mistake. At that point, we had won 2 games, so we were on a high. And I was like, hey, he'll learn from this mistake. A year later to this day, and he makes the same exact mistake. So I'm here Saturday looking like the same 12 changes that he's made to the starting 11, and it was atrocious. Fraser Forster, I'm ready to rip up his contract today. The guy, he made a couple good saves, but on the ball, the guy cannot.
You won't know this TV show. Kate will. Mo might. Do you remember the monster? Do you remember the monsters? Do you remember the monsters? Right. Yeah. He reminds me of Monster, whatever his name was. That it looks like a Frankenstein. Moves like him, acts like him. He does. He's like a monster, and he's so. But you are right about that, young Daniel. That Spurs need a trophy, probably more than any other member of the top 6. So to see him rotate so many players and almost go out, I find it staggering. Again, it's about knowing your fan base. And this isn't, I know Standard FC won't like hearing this, but I think it's about knowing your fan base. I think if you turn around and did a poll now with every Spurs fan in the world and said, you're going to come 15th this year, but you'll win a trophy, 100%. I think most would vote for it. I just think most would, right? So resting your players, you're not going to win the league. So resting players midweek so they're fit for the Premier League, I just look at it and think, who do you think you are?
Yeah, but Terry, he was on a good hiding for nothing there, because if he hadn't rested the players and played his full squad and we'd have gone out, he would have got criticised for not trusting the youth. And if he plays the youth and we lose, he gets criticised for making too many changes. But what I will say is this is the trouble with our club. Daniel Levy wants us to finish top 4. He doesn't give a monkeys about any cup, because top 4 is where the money is. So their priority will always be top 4. It's sad, but it's a fact.
Can I interject about Spurs here a little bit, right? Look, I didn't watch the game. But I'm going to say one thing. I just looked at the stats, right? So here are the facts, right? You still had the majority of the position. You positionally were in Coventry's half. Mm-hmm. I actually think that it doesn't matter the lineup that plays, because at the end you played the same striker that played before. You just change your wingers and the midfield. So it doesn't matter. The problem isn't the lineup, because against Arsenal you still didn't deliver. You huffed and puffed, and he did the same thing. I actually think he's right. The guys at Arsenal didn't deliver. He played a different lineup today. They didn't deliver. You were losing until, if I'm hearing, until the 80th minute, 85 minute, something like that. So you basically did the exact same. He changed the lineup. You had position. You had 75% position, right? You were camping in the opposition's half. So why are people blaming Ange for changing the lineup?
I'm not blaming Ange.
Changing the lineup, Daniel, didn't lower your quality. The quality is still the same as the Arsenal. So why are you blaming Ange?
So is Coventry City and Arsenal on the same level? Is that what we're saying now?
But you peppered both. You camped in both.
It's not the same thing. You even saw the difference. Mo, you see the difference when we brought on the different players.
I didn't see the game. I'm just looking at the stats.
I'll let you know. As soon as we brought on Son, Madison, and Kulusevski, the game looked like a completely different game. We were actually creating good chances.
The stats were so misleading if you didn't watch the game. If you watched it up until the last 10 minutes of the match, Coventry battered. Coventry should have scored 5-6. As in quality of chances. Like you guys tonight, City had most of the ball, but I feel like the better chances went to Inter Milan. Inter Milan were the better team, even though they had less of the ball. Same difference tonight. If Spurs would have started the game with Kulusevski on the pitch, Madison on the pitch.
Terry, can I say that about Tottenham?
They were the one. Yeah, of course, can.
Let me just say, I just want to say, listen, I don't think it's Ange's problem. Literally, it's not Ange's fault, and there's no way you can blame him. There's no. I blame the Tottenham fans. You know, Tottenham fans. You've got no. See, the fact that I'll say this, their fans have got low mentality, of accepting mediocrity. Why are you paying £1,500 to go and win the game? Why? Why? What? You're giving him money, and he's taking the money, and he's not spending. I feel sorry for you guys because you can't come out here and say, "Oh, I'm paying £1,500 a season." We put them, and then you go into the game, and then you come here. Oh, same old Tottenham. I can't take it anymore. Oh my God, I'm new manager. Bro, you've been there for the last 20 years, 30 years. What are you doing here? World moves on. Time will not come back. Is your fan base? I swear, and I don't hate Tottenham. I just look at you. The day you guys stand up and say, enough is enough, we want Levy out, protest, the way they booed Wenger. Remember? Wenger out, they wanted Wenger, they refused to go to the games. Arsenal fans made their change. Give them credit for that. Arsenal fans pushed for their football club to change.
You did, didn't you? You guys did a really good. You guys did a really good job in the Wenger era, didn't you, Hamza? You guys did a great job in the Wenger era.
I was in an Arsenal. I was a City fan.
On the low standards, though, it could be true because you look at young Daniel. You look at that haircut, you think low standards. Straight away, you think low standards, and then you got Kate and Jim. I'm not saying which one, but one of them is scraping the barrel. I ain't saying which one. I ain't saying which one of you, right?
That is scandalous.
But
wow.
all I'm gonna say is I love Jimbo. So I mean, make of that what you will. You know, make of that what
that
you
is
will.
Scandalous. At least we've got a barrel to scrape, Terry. That's all I'm saying.
This is true. I am barrel-less.
Exactly. So, enjoy playing with yourself tonight.
Well, I was about to say, I'm that bad. If I fell into a barrel load of boobs, I'd come out sucking my thumb. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them ones there. So it's one of them. But listen, we've got a few super chats here. First one says, not going to lie, I'm so proud of little bro Spurs. Finally win away from home. Terry, did you watch the Villa versus Young Boys game? Villa fans on here, please. They were very, very good, Aston Villa, actually, last night. Well, first 20 minutes, I thought Young Boys might beat them. And then they came into their own. They had 2 or 3 goals disallowed. They looked a Champions League team. City's kit is so ugly. It makes their football look bad. Yeah, I'm not going to lie. Listen, I'm actually a big Oasis fan, but that kit is vulgar. It is vulgar. It is vulgar. There's a reason neither of these two are wearing it. It's simple as that. Wind your neck in, Kate. Jimbo, it's an Ange's masterclass. That's Jim. That's Kate's husband, just so everybody knows. Confirmed that Michael Oliver will referee Arsenal versus Man City. Well, yes. Ain't he the guy that the UAE paid to go over there and referee as well? I think he is.
It's already excuses. So already they're making excuses. Yeah.
Hard to temper expectations when season tickets cost two grand. But this is the thing. You don't have to spend it. That's the truth. You don't have to spend it.
You don't need to go.
Vote with your feet. I think Hamza is right on that one.